Okay, so this video would have been shot in 1994. This is pulling into Yokosuka, Japan, on board the David R. Ray DD-971. This would have been in November, I would guess. I'm trying to remember. I think it's November, though. War's a hoax, controlled demolition, strategic relocation, man. Period. This is nothing more than a gypsy migration. Grown-up Sea Scouts. You know, with just toys like this piece of junk Sea Sparrow system that never worked. Saw two things shot out of it, both right in the drink. Okay, so, hi. I was looking at Flat Earth, just the results, on YouTube, being that this is really the only place that people are talking about this. So I've noticed then that if you, this is what I always do, I always like to go to This Week to see if anything new has come up worth watching. And most of this stuff, no, it's not. But what I did see was this picture, and that one I most certainly recognized, because I took that back in 2012 and I said, that is a star. I took that back on the 21st of June in 2012. And what's interesting about this, and and now I see others are starting to look into the idea of the sun, the moon, and the stars, which are in fact lights. I need you to understand that. And here's where I don't know if it's just the idea of the hanger-on, the one who can look at something, and here, if you're this type of person, watching all these videos and still not getting it, I have to wonder what's holding you back. What is the anchor? What's the anchor to the lie you will not let go? What is that false idol that you're not willing to give up? And that is, you believe in space. You still do, regardless of what's being shown to you. You still believe there's a vast universe in space, and there's all kinds of things going on, which I won't go into, because it's a waste of your time and mine. And it really is for this reason, because I don't care what they say. You have these shows, and you try to listen to one of them, and this is what turned me off about all this nonsense. You try to listen to even one of these guys, and they'll talk and continue to tell you about what they say, and what they say is NASA and the powers that be. They're liars. Who cares what they say? They lied to you about everything. Don't even bring them up when you're talking to me, because they don't concern me. They have been put into the rubbish, as they should be. Alright? If you want to keep balancing what they say to what you can see and know, then you will not get off the beam. You will not get off the fence. You're standing up there like a little gymnast. You know? Yeah, it may have been cute when you were a kid and in the underoos, but now your feet are worn out and you need to throw them out, man. Put on some big boy pants, get off the balance beam. Get on one side or the other. Stop talking about how the grass is greener on the other side and blah blah. Shut it. Alright, this is all a big waste of time. It's all gibberish. Anyways. So I saw the latest contrivance, and this is happening through a lot of the comedy, or commenting on these videos, is you have these, I don't know, it takes a certain kind of mind to come up with. One, that doesn't know observation. Two, that is purposely and willingly wanting to deceive. Or three, which is a combination of the first two, just a demon goat in disguise, a corrupted mind being taken advantage of, and then you being the useful idiot and puppet putting out comments such as, Is it possible the stars are in front of the moon? Let me tell you something, people. You have a very simple test that you could have performed before you opened your unlearned mouth. You could have taken any optical device out to the moonlight, focus on it, and then notice that you could then focus into the depth slightly behind it onto the star plane. Alright, I placed the star plane 40 to 42 miles up. The sun and moon 32 plus miles up. So if you can visualize that, you're looking past, but not that far past, onto another plane. And I've told you before, if you really look then, if you do that step I just told you, then focus in on the star, right? Then focus just past the star. Alright. Do you recall, and this is something interesting, and I've shown you this picture of the salt flats, how you have these geometric shapes formed on the flat surface, and it creates what looks to be, but not specifically, a honeycomb pattern. What it more resembles is the bee's wing, and let me show you that. Now that would be here. Do you notice the same pattern? That is because the bee is then flying in line with the plane. Alright, just like a plane's wings. It's the same thing. That's the moon projector. That is what projects that light that you see. That is the actual projector itself. I took that picture when around the same time I took this one. Okay, so anyways, what I wanted to tell you was on my flat plane Earth videos, if you go down to the carpenter bee and the flat Earth plane, part 6, you'll see that I go through the idea of the bee's wing, and that is because I happened to find this carpenter bee in front of my house, fully intact, and I was able to get a real good look at it. See that? And that's that same pattern. Yeah, so please take a look at, I'm sorry, where am I? The salt flats picture. And that would be right here. You can go ahead and see that that is in fact the same shape. So please take a look at my carpenter bee, part 6. You might want to start at part 1, however, for a series that has been called out, quite frankly, as horribly boring and uninformative by Eric Wilcox Dubé. But I think, possibly, that you might find some useful tidbits of information. Then you can go outside and you can do the work yourself. And then, because I'm going to tell you what, I know you got pampered and told that there was no dumb questions, and that's quite possibly because that's all you would ever put out if somebody didn't tell you that. Every single question is dumb unless you have done work to produce a question. You don't understand what a question means. A question isn't something that randomly pops out of your head, man. Let me explain to you and redefine for you what a question is. All right. Now, a question is when you take the time to do something that you've been given all the information to do. You have the ability to go out and to do. And then you put all that together, and then there's one step or item that you can't put together or can't replicate the result. Then what does that question then include? That question then includes an informed request for information. Not just, hey, listen, man, I don't believe you. In an answer, can you totally just go ahead and rock my world and change my paradigm, man? and then totally convince me of what you're saying, dude? No, I can't. But I can tell you what I can do. And that's ban you and just get you out of my world, man. You poof, you don't exist anymore. Because you're workless. You take no time to do anything. You don't even take the time to walk outside. And that's what allows these liars to come out here and put out videos and allow these stupid observations from idiots talking about stars being in front of the moon. And I'll explain to you why this is very important. Is because I told you the way that you tell that they are in fact on a plane behind. But not only does that allows this group of people to then peel off and then start another line of nonsense. Another line of unlearned nonsense from people who didn't take the time to understand anything. They have no observation. They have no work. But because you have chosen to misunderstand the meaning of freedom of speech, the freedom of speech is not the fact that you can open up your mouth and make sounds out of it. You have no freedom of speech, sport. You have the right to shut your mouth. You have the right to study until you show yourself approved. Alright? Now, oh, you're asking, hey, I have a right to free speech. Well, what? Who told you that? Some piece of paper told you that? Some worthless piece of paper told you that? Well, go ahead and stuff that piece of paper. Alright? Because that paper is a contract between you and a government, man. Not individual people. You have no right of free speech to another person who doesn't care to hear you. You want to go stand in front of a government building? That's where you exercise your free speech, dummy. Learn, learn, learn. You don't even know what you're talking about. You can't even describe that useless paper that you so much love. You love to quote it, but you've never read it. I guarantee you that. And why would you understand law of man when you have been given freedom through Jesus Christ, true living water? You don't live in this world, man. Man, get them knees up. So anyways, I'll talk over a video that I'll be making. This is just a preview here at the end, just to show you how everything comes around. And if you notice, the bee's wing had the same pattern as the salt flat, and that same pattern, if you look past, you have the sun and the moonlight plane. If you look past, you'll have the star plane. If you look past that, you're going to have that same pattern. It's going to be an aqua, kind of with more green in there. And you'll see that same pattern on the plane beyond what is called the stars. And anyways, that's it. There's nothing past that. Alright? Yeah, I've seen it. Maybe if you take the time to go outside and look, and to leave behind what they've told you you're seeing, and observe everything yourself. And ask the one who knows. That's the one who made you. Alright? And you do that in silence. I know you have people running and hiding in their closet. No, what that means is just go outside, look around, and just pray. Pray. Pray tell. Right? I've told you that before. Oh, he said pray. Shut. What is wrong with you? Do you not even know what that word means? It's ponder, think on, pray tell. And then you are answered, right? By the Comforter. Right? You were given that comfort, that understanding. And then you find out when you flip the 47, like I just did here with you wind up with what? The plane in the center. And then I've told you that before.